Hello, sports fans. Thanks for tuning into the Sports Cave's weekly wrap. I'm Lance Phillips. We've got some great stuff lined up for you this week, from the NHL to the OHL. Heck, we've even got a little MMA in the mix. So let's get started. We'll begin this week with a number, 742. The number of goals Jaromir Jagr scored over the course of his illustrious career. The five-time Art Ross Trophy winner took a step up, passing Brett Hull for third all-time when he notched number 742 against the Jets Saturday. Keep in mind, this guy's 44. Here's a look back at some of the Czech's more memorable goals.
Jagr is a true virtuoso.
Hangs on to it. And a good move. Another good move. He's in. Scores. What a goal. Jagr.
Hooked from behind. Interference by McLean, but he gets to the net. Jagr scores. Pittsburgh wins it.
There's only 4 people in the whole rink he didn't deke, and 3 of them are ushers.
With one man back, Trache's headed for the net. Jagr into the slot, holding on to the puck. He shoots. He scores. Beauty.
Get out the highlight reel again, Harry.
How many times can this man beat you on a deke?
Moves up, lead pass to Jagr, trying to beat the defense. Goes down, he's pulled down, scores, it goes in! And he whacked at it out of midair. What a goal! He beats Timo like a rented mule. Oh boy. He's so difficult to stop legally.
He just keeps getting better.
And Jagr threads the needle.
It's obvious to anyone that Jagr's a lock for the Hall of Fame. So there's really just one question remaining. Does he go in with or without that beauty mullet? It's no secret the NHL has been trying to crack down on headshots and illegal checks. Head trauma and long-term cognitive problems are a major problem for any league, but it's especially prevalent in the NHL, considering the league's dealt with the deaths of numerous players who've struggled with those exact issues. On Thursday, Toronto Maple Leafs forward Leo Komarov delivered a blatant elbow to the head of Rangers defenseman Ryan McDonagh. Brutal. The worst part about this is McDonagh had just returned from a concussion he received after a Wayne Simmons sucker punch. Komarov was suspended a grand total of 3 games for this hit. 3! Not really a persuasive way of telling players these actions won't be tolerated. Yeah, Komarov's a first-time offender, but this penalty pretty much ensures a second. Look, if the league really wants these types of plays out of the game, they need to institute penalties so severe, players are forced to think twice before trying to remove an opponent's head from their body. A couple of weeks ago, we mentioned Dennis Wideman and his running over of an official. The Flames defenseman was suspended 20 games by the league and subsequently appealed the suspension. Commissioner Gary Bettman didn't see any remorse from Wideman and as a result upheld the 20-game suspension. Bettman said in a statement, "I do not see a basis for a lesser penalty, particularly given the severity of the conduct involved. On the other hand, I have the authority to impose a more substantial suspension, and I am troubled by Mr. Wideman's total failure to accept any responsibility for his actions. Indeed, although he made much at the hearing about the apologies he had already made to Mr. Henderson, the sincerity of those apologies rings somewhat hollow, given the text message he sent to a teammate on February 2nd, after the conclusion of the hearing before Mr. Campbell, that the only problem and the only reason I'm here is because of the stupid refs and stupid media." What? Text messages? Yeah, that's right. Gary Bettman has access to players' text messages. According to CBA Section 18.12, the commissioner shall have the authority to consider any evidence relating to the incident, even if such evidence was not available at the time of the initial supplementary discipline for on-ice conduct decision. What that means in a nutshell is player-to-player text messages can be accessed by the league. Scary. Imagine the massive amounts of deleted messages after this came down the pipe. Here's what some of the players had to say.
It's an eye-opener for sure. I think talking with him, text messages, and it's been proven time and again, can be taken out of context, and one text message in a overall conversation can be taken out of context. It's a learning experience for all of us players, and something that we're going to have to be cognizant of in the future. You have to be, I guess you can't be texting your teammates too often anymore.
If they're legally allowed to do that, then I guess it's our responsibility to make sure that we're not saying anything that could put us at risk in a sense. So, they're obviously doing it because they're allowed to.
You don't think the league could go into your cell phone and that kind of stuff, but I guess it's that's how it works, and as a player you're always surprised, but the impossible, it's always possible, I guess.
I mean, personally, I mean, for me, if the NHL tried to get in my cell phone, I think any player, anyone would probably be, I think, pretty upset about it. I mean, I feel for him. I mean, that's pretty tough on him. I definitely wouldn't want them just snooping through my phone, but it's just how it goes, I guess. But it's pretty. I guess he's probably pretty upset about it.
Wait. Did anyone else see that? Go back to Peter Holland. Was that a... Yeah, it was. Check out that old greasy jock swinging around Holland's head. Classic. Wideman intends to appeal again, this time to third-party arbitrator James Oldham, a Georgetown law professor, and that's expected to happen on February 24th or 25th. To date, the Flames defenseman's missed a total of 10 games. If Oldham reduces the suspension to fewer than 10 games, Wideman could be reimbursed in the form of salary, since there's no way to get back the games he's missed. He's currently losing $28,266 per game. One thing many people will never understand is the NHL's diving penalty. Basically, officials can call a diving penalty for a player who embellishes on a play, just like Devils forward Joseph Blandisi. During the first period of Tuesday's Devils-Flyers game, Andrew McDonald slashed Blandisi on the back of the leg. What ensued was an acting job worthy of an Academy Award. Well, sort of. McDonald was given a 2-minute penalty, and so was Blandisi for this embellishment. In light of this, here are some other amazingly pathetic dives from the world of sports. Great stuff. But back to Blandisi. How can both players be penalized? It was either a legit slashing penalty or an embellishment. It can't be both. I mean, if officials can decipher the difference between what's diving and what's not diving, why is the penalty even required? The answer is, it's not. A guy like Blandisi is only taking himself out of the play, not to mention he's going to have to answer to fans when he gets up after rolling around on the ice like he's been shot. Just leave him there. If it's a dive, nobody gets a penalty. If it's not, then the solution's pretty simple. Before we get to this next story, can we get that music changed up? Perfect. For the second time this season, the Ontario Hockey League's Flint Firebirds fired coaches John Gruden and Dave Karpa. You heard that correctly. The second time. Back on November 8th, Flint Firebirds owner Rolf Nilsson fired his entire coaching staff after the team's 4-3 shootout victory over defending Memorial Cup champion Oshawa Generals. The reason? He didn't feel his son Håkan Nilsson, a defenseman on the team, was getting enough playing time. Not long after, players on the team reportedly marched up to the management office one by one, dropped their jerseys on the floor, and quit in protest. After Nilsson met with OHL Commissioner David Branch the next day, Karpa and Gruden were reinstated with new 3-year contracts. Well, fast forward to Wednesday, and Nilsson fired the coaching tandem again. Once again, Branch visited Flint, but this time with a heavy hand. Branch said in a statement, "The league announces the following sanctions effective immediately. Mr. Nilsson and his appointees on the management and coaching staff, including Sergei Karin, are suspended from Flint Firebirds hockey operations until further notice. The Flint Firebirds, at their cost, under the direction of the league, shall provide counseling services for the players. Rolf Nilsson and his representatives of the Firebirds shall cooperate with the commissioner and the league in investigations into the conduct and actions of the Flint Firebirds and its representatives, employees, officers, and directors." Here's Joe Steffen, the team's interim head coach.
Well, we're going to work with the players as best we can. We're going to try and teach them as much as we can to the end of the season. We're going to be as positive as we can with the players, because I think they deserve that. And we're going to try and be upbeat the rest of the way, whether we win many games or we don't. And we're going to let the league and everything else away from the arena decide the fate.
That dude certainly doesn't sound like a guy full of optimism. In November, 3 of 5 NHL prospects on the team made their way out of town, yet players still remain.
All this that you guys have went through this year, how close has that made you as a team?
Oh my God, I think this is the closest group of guys I've ever been with, and I think that's saying a lot. Hockey, you grow as a team, and you're getting a lot of brothers, but this is the closest I've ever been with the team.
Do you want to continue to play here after this season?
I do. I mean, I think the team's in good hands right now, and in the off season, who knows what's going to happen? I can't speak for the future, so we'll see.
What would you say to any potential draft picks coming here?
I can't really speak for that. It is what it is.
How about that part where Ryan Moore was asked what he'd say to potential Firebird draft picks? His response, "I can't really speak to that," translates into one thing: don't do it. I'm not sure who I feel worse for in this situation, the players on the team or the residents of Flint who desperately need this franchise to flourish. Come to think of it, could be another solution to make both fans and players happy.
You're just nothing but a dumb bear. Smack, smack. Yeah. Woo. Crazy fist. I'll come in with crazy fist. Huh? This is fine. He's not doing anything. Flint, can you dig it? Jackie Boone, Flint. Ah!
All right, we've definitely left the worst for last. By now, most people know the name Kimbo Slice, the backyard brawler turned MMA fighter. This past Friday, the 42-year-old was back at it in what many have called the worst fight in MMA history at Bellator 149 when Slice and Dada 5000 squared off in the octagon. The lunacy really began before the match, when at the pre-fight presser, Kimbo accused Dada of having baby nuts. Have a watch.
Okay. I promise you that. So let's pull your pants down. Let me see size. Man, listen, I'll show my nuts right now. Let me see your nuts. Yeah. You got baby nuts, Dada. You want to do that? You got baby nuts. I bet you my nuts bigger than yours. I hear you. Come on. I hear you. Okay. You do what you feel do. I bet you my nuts. Excuse me, boys. You do what you do. My nuts bigger than yours. Man, whatever, man.
No, have a seat, guys. Have a seat.
On to the main event, where by the time the first round ended, both men were fully exhausted. I mean, check these guys out. Two dudes in top physical form, true fitness buffs. Finally, by the third round, it was Kimbo who delivered one of the most devastating knockouts in MMA history.
For a reason to stop it past the first round, and Kimbo gave him a reason with this shot.
Did you see that? Maybe we should see it again. That right there is a miss. It's almost as if Dada thought to himself, screw this, I'm laying down. Of course, this fight created a Twitter firestorm. NASCAR Chasm wrote, "If you can't watch Bellator 149, just find an old Kimbo Slice fight on YouTube and then play at half speed." At Jason W. Rocco, "Even though it was on free TV, I feel I overpaid for that Kimbo Dada fight." Joe Rogan even chimed in. "This fight might be the worst I've ever seen." And at Chad Dundas, "Kimbo Slice and Dada 5000 might be having the worst fight in modern MMA history right now." And finally, the Spartan. That wasn't the ending we wanted, but it was the ending we deserved. Isn't that the truth? Listen, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday.